What's up? I'm Psyche of Sound, and this is Words from the Psyche. And today's topic is, does a coach necessarily have to be the best player, or used to be the best player? Like, for example, does Michael Jordan make the best coach? Because right now we're in the space of Coach Prime, and he's doing some amazing things. Shout out to Coach Prime right now. He's over there at Colorado doing wonderful things. And he is an exception to it or not. Do you feel that he's a great coach because he was a great player or not? Now, bringing it to music, do I have to sell millions of records and Grammys to be able to tell someone else how to do it? Aha. Or does it just take dedication, the right music, the right everything, and that just falls into place? So this is the questions that I have. Not really questions I have. It's just the topic of the day for the most part. I know, roughly left and right when it comes to this. But some people would argue it down. So you'll have someone that's probably pretty talented, and they may get a word of advice or a mentor give them some guidance, and they may look down upon that person because, what have you done? What have you sold? Or who do you know? And I think that's a no-no in many ways. That's great if they do have a track record, because I feel like that would show you that they do have some sort of experience. But even with the track record, everything is different for everyone else. So, in that way, I feel like a great coach is someone that listens to the person. Great coach, let's say mentor. A great mentor is a person that understands where this artist is, where this artist would like to go, and then married to where they see this artist going, and then somehow they can merge together and bring that to a higher place. It gets very difficult because you do have situations where someone feels like because they are up here that their word is God or golden or whatever, and it's like whatever you say, you don't know what you're talking about, shut up and listen. And I don't really agree with that side of it either. I think it should be somewhere in the middle, because at some point the artist does need to shut up and listen because there are things that they have to learn, but this person's word is not God in a sense of, but it depends on how you approach them. It depends on how you guys met, yada, yada, yada. I think the younger should take the knowledge from the mentor, and the mentor should also listen to the next generation because they also have views and ideas as well. And I think that showing them examples of why this wouldn't work or why this does work is also helpful too, even in sports. You could be training someone for a certain thing. For example, I may run the 200 and 400 meter dash, which are both, if you don't understand track and field, 200 is half a lap, the 400 is one full lap, and both of those are pretty much sprints. But if you want to be a great 400 meter runner, a lot of those people with that leg speed don't want to train up. They don't want to run the 800, which is 2 laps. But if I have a coach that's not teaching me that, or for example, if you're an 800 meter runner, training up would be going to the 1500 or the mile. Now, if I got a coach that's throwing me in the mile every day, I might be angry. What's he doing? If I don't understand what's happening. So when it comes to music, not to be Mr. Miyagi and sand the floor, but it's understandable. You have to learn certain things to get that craft. Artist development is important in so many ways. We live in a society and now where everyone just wants it like this. They want to get it today, and if it ain't here today, your brain's fried. You have to slow down and understand this stuff takes time. I don't care who you think just made it overnight. They did not make it overnight. They probably been working at it for quite some time, and you just heard about them recently. But more than likely, if they have any sort of staying power of longevity, they've been busting their butt for quite some time. Just like an athlete's been busting their butt training, and you win some, lose some. But in music, it's very important to get that development. That's interview development, that's songwriting development, that's performance. It's all the above. It's very important, and I think that's one of the things that's missing with a lot of artists today is that development. And you'll see that with people that do end up having longevity. You'll see them start to come into themselves. I'm not going to name any names because it's kind of silly, but you will see that if they do have some sort of longevity, they will transition and they will change, and then the music will start to have some more substance to it. Because they're actually developing as they go, which is great too. And I applaud anyone who can put something out there in one day and it blows up. That's great. But if that were me and I was young, I'd still want to take the guitar lessons. I still want to take the piano lessons or vocal lessons. I wouldn't just be like, hey, I made it. I don't know what am I doing this for. It's because it's very important to understand that, because it's especially if you're in some sort of pop world, that money's big and good and fast, but at the same time that timeline is very short for a lot of people. Just look at the biggest groups ever, and if you look at the time span, it's not really as long as you would think. Yeah, they can come back and do reunions and yada yada yada, but if you want to have that longevity, you should probably study and polish up what you do. A lot of these major acts that you see that are doing these arena tours and selling out, like someone like Beyonce, it's very apparent that she works at what she does. It's very apparent that she's not, I'm a millionaire, I'm married to Jay-Z, and blah blah blah, and I don't have to do anything. It's very clear that she works out. It's very clear that she rehearses. It's very clear that she's very intricate part of her song placement and song selection. It shows in every single way. And so, like, if you want to be on that level, it doesn't come with I got signed a record deal, kicking your feet up, and go out there and hang flyers up for me, guys, and promote me. No, you have to put that work in. That work is definitely have to be put in, and if someone like her was a coach, which she has a few artists on her label, we'll see how that turns out. But then again, it's very different for every single artist, every single genre. It's so different. It's art, it's music, and it's influence, and you have to. It's all timing at some point as well. So, does a great mentor or a coach have to be an ex-superstar? That's a good question, and I think in some cases it helps, some places it doesn't. You can have a situation where your coach was the Michael Jordan, for that matter, in sports, and he coaches you, and now everyone's got their eyes on you. Back to Deion Sanders, they had their eyes on him because just because you were good doesn't mean this team is going to be good. You guys, this team only won X amount of games last year, yada yada yada, and who knows how the season's going to go. It seems to be starting off very well. Time will tell, but he has a great track record when it comes to certain things. And I think that if you're going to pick someone to be part of your team, check their work ethic, not so much their track record of how many hits they've had, but how dedicated they are. Do they like you? Well, this is Psyche Sound, Words from the Psyche. Sign off.